About 3 years ago, the president of Sonor Drums, Karl-Heinz Menzel, approached me with the idea of developing a 30th anniversary Steve Smith Artist Series drum set. So we talked about some of the concepts and features that we would like to incorporate with this, and then I got together with Karl-Heinz at the Sonor factory 2 years ago, and we did a lot of experimenting and developed this drum set. The most basic feature of the drum set are the shells are made of beechwood. And when I started playing Sonor drums in 1977, all of the drums were made of beechwood. And I really loved the sound of those drums. In fact, I still have a couple of kits from that time period that I use in various recording sessions. And basically all of the Journey albums that I did in the late 70s and the early 80s were done with the beechwood kits with the traditional size bass drum and toms. We experimented by making a couple of versions of each size and then trying different thicknesses of the wood, and we determined that the bass drum sounded best if it was pretty thin. So the bass drum is 9 plies, but it's thin plies. The toms are 9 plies, but they're thicker plies. So the toms are a bit heavier, and the snare drum, my side snare, 12 by 5 inch snare, is also a bit heavier, shell-wise, thickness-wise, than the bass drum. And some other features that I wanted to incorporate are the T-rod, tuning rods on the bass drum, because I really like those a lot more than using a drum key to tune my bass drum. I also use the felt strips on both sides of the heads, which the drum set comes with that. No hole in the front head, a white head, give it a little bit of a vintage type of look. And then as far as the snare drum goes, I've always enjoyed a very heavy steel snare drum, and so we came up with a 5.5 by 14 very heavy steel drum with chrome plating, and the lugs are the actual lugs from the late 70s and the early 80s. So and it has 2 air vents, which gives the drum a little bit more low end, so it's got a lot of snap and high end, but it's got a very good low end as well. And as far as for myself, being a longtime Sonor fan, and many of the Sonor fans that I've talked to, the tension rods are all slotted tension rods, just like they've been for many years. And bird's eye amber is the finish that we determined it's a beautiful finish, and one that I really like a lot. Karl-Heinz really favored that finish, so we went in that direction. And as far as the hardware is concerned, I like this 400 series hardware because it's very solid, but it's a little lighter than the 600 series. So I tend to use this on tour because it's a little easier to manage. I put the double tom holder on the bass drum itself. I prefer that than mounting them on cymbal stands or extra stands on the side. And I moved it forward a little bit from where it's usually placed because I can get it in place exactly how I like it. And I use traditional size toms, meaning they're all 8 inches deep. And this is the way, before power toms came in the mid 80s, all rack toms were 8 inches deep. So it's 8 by 8, 10 by 8, 12 by 8. And then just the very traditional 14 by 14 floor tom and 16 by 16 floor tom. So I've been with them now since 1977, a little over 30 years, and I've always been happy with the changes and the development that have happened with all the various lines of Sonor drums, and very happy now to be here presenting my 30-year anniversary Artist Series drum set.